Hey guys, Tekken Ninja here once again with episode 4 of JRPG News and Thoughts of the Week. Now, unfortunately, Chris couldn't be with us. He's got some prior family arrangements, so my best wishes to him, and hopefully everything's all good. On to the news. First up, we've got Kingdom Hearts 2.8. Information slowly trickling out with some new screenshots of the characters, as well as Kingdom Hearts 3, bits and pieces of news for that is slowly coming out as well. There's a new Sora figurine that has a bit of the backstory as well as some new story for Kingdom Hearts 3. So I'm assuming over the next couple of months, including PlayStation Experience, we'll hopefully find out more information about 2.8 and 3. Next up, after a really good Digimon game, Cyber Sleuth, Namco Bandai are bringing the next Digimon game, World Next Order, to PS4. I'm not sure about Vita. I think apparently the Vita sales weren't good enough for them to bring this one over. So the interesting thing is, this isn't a turn-based one. This is actually a real-time one. It actually takes some cues from one of the PS1 ones, and the gameplay looks very Tales-ish. Like even the battles have like the same kind of camera style. Persona 5 unfortunately got delayed till April 4th. Which is a bit of a pity, because I was actually really looking forward for that game, and the whole point was Take Your Heart Edition was for Valentine's Day. But the thing is, the reason they're doing that is they want to redo some dialogue, like both the voiced and text dialogue, as well as add free Japanese voiceover. So I mean, at least you get something good out of it.
Persona 5. I think it's good they delayed it for the dual audio. I don't know why Atlas didn't want to put it in there.
It's also for the It's also for the fact they're redoing they're redoing parts of translation as well as the dubbing as well. Like they want to go for higher quality.
The dub wasn't very good, in my opinion.
No, they felt there was some lines and parts that they could have improved. Plus, they've added more voiced work as well.
That's good. That's good. I mean, with Persona 5, it's really strange that they didn't just sit there and think this is a Japanese game. People would want to hear this in its native language, and it's just confusing for them. And Atlas have got those really old style views of like it's the American market. They can't cope with foreign things, and I'm just like, what is this? Like 4Kids, the RPG company? Like, calm down there, guys. Okay, you don't need to call rice balls donuts. We're fine. Like, I get people speak other languages. Yeah, exactly. Just like, and it's like they're not even thieves. They're just like returning stolen items in the English dub because that's too harsh.
After making a really awesome game, a dungeon crawler called Operation Abyss, the same developers are now bringing over the sequel, Operation Babel, onto PS4. I think PS4, but I know definitely at least Vita and PC, as well as the first one, Operation Abyss, being released on Steam as well. So I just pre-ordered. I put my pre-order on for Babel last night because I'm surprised EB Games in Australia actually are getting copies of it. So I'm probably going to be the only one with a copy in Adelaide at this rate if they give so little copies to us. And out of nowhere, Nier Automata and Final Fantasy 15 are getting collaborations. Basically, you'll get Noctis's main weapon, or one of his main weapons, in Nier Automata, although the other reverse of what's happening is unknown. I'm assuming we get some kind of weapon or skill to use in Final Fantasy 15 from Nier Automata. And speaking of Final Fantasy 15, the Day 1 Crown update was detailed, which is basically going to have a few extra little, like, side quests and stuff to do, as well as, some more skills and shit to upgrade. So, I mean, 7.2 gigs, there has to be some other stuff hidden there, because I've looked at I put the link in the description so you guys can have a look at yourself what's in the update, but there's definitely, it shouldn't be that, like, big for what it is. So I reckon there must be some other stuff hiding in there, possibly even some, like, DLC stuff later on that will unlock. But either way, I'm looking forward to that game. Now, since there's no real other major news to talk about that we haven't already talked about over the last couple of weeks, we're going to do something a little bit different. So basically, every now and then there's going to be an episode where we'll just discuss what we're currently playing RPG-wise and what we plan to pick up. So, if any of you two want to do the honors first?
Well, I did want to talk about 2.8 and how I'm not feeling it. I'm not even sure if I'm going to pick it up, honestly. Because it's like, what, two games? One's new, the other's a remaster, and the other one's like a movie, apparently. I'm a little bit weirded out by this. I mean, do you guys have much more understanding about it?
Oh, well, basically the movie's actually, there's meant to be like a new organization. Okay, like remember Organization 13 from normal games? So basically, there's this new kind of group, sort of similar to Organization 13, that are like, behind the scenes, setting up stuff and causing trouble in Kingdom Hearts 3. And this movie that comes in 2.8 is focused on them. So Basically, the idea is 2.8 HD collection is the full thing leading up into Kingdom Hearts 3.
I see. So my main concern is though is because like you know how this is supposed to be about Aqua going into the Dark World or what I can't even remember the bloody name. It just makes me question: is it going to be a glorified tech demo that's 5 hours long that I'm paying $60 for, or are we going to get like a 10-hour? Because I mean that's a little bit strange. If we ever had a 10-hour Kingdom Hearts game, it'll make it feel like a linear action title, almost like God of War, but Japanese, I guess.
Well, like I mean, there's been a few memes about the about this Aqua special game, including a Photoshop of her wearing Big Boss's outfit from Ground Zeroes.
Get you ready.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
like that's what people reckon the game might be. It might just be literally Kingdom Hearts Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. I thought it was like a Ground Zeroes type thing, and it comes with a couple of extra content. But like the backlash that Konami got for that, charging like what, bloody $60 for Ground Zeroes, even though it was fun. Does Square think they can get away with the same thing? Because I feel that they've been making a lot of strides, coming off as a better company, and going back to how they used to be. That we can at least depend on them to give us a good story-driven experience. That's not a total rip-off, and like I don't know. I mean, as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I'm a bit put off by this. They've really left a bit of taste in my mouth with the constant re-releases and this and that. And I mean, and that's the thing. If this is 2.8 and it's leading up to 3, there's gonna be a 2.9. Okay, and I'm just expecting this like QTE Tapfest mobile game that's got some insignificant part of darkness or some nobody. I'm just not sure where the story's even going anymore.
I mean, a game like that sounds pretty Unchained. Oh wait,
I'll get out right now.
no, but but the idea is well, like the main part of the package is obviously the fact that it's Kingdom Hearts 3D, HD and stuff, and the game looks a lot better without the 3DS like limiting it. So, and there's also some new content that's also coming into Kingdom Hearts DDD. So, for all intents and purposes, it's Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD Final Mix. So that's the main part of the package.
Yeah, I mean that's alright, I guess. I can live with it. I'm not gonna pay $60 for it. I'll pick it up when it's like 20 maybe. Read up much about the Crown patch though. Apparently that's gonna be having scenes added from Kingsglaive and the Omen trailer into it. So when you said it was 7 gigs, I was starting to think, is that just uncompressed video for the pro version? Maybe?
It's a bit insane.
Well, it's a possibility. Though apparently they fixed the camera inside buildings and for indoor combat and stuff, which I read about. So that could be a game changer for like, because you know how there was a lot of stuff they showed up with those dungeons that were underground and whatnot. I can see people right now with the pre-patch version arguing about that. This will be like Bloodborne all over again, where the later patch actually made it a really playable game and a fantastic game, but getting it a couple of days early because you couldn't wait absolutely screwed you over in that regard.
But like either way, like regardless of how 15 turns out, like I'm really liking how it looks so far, and just every single bit of update that like reveals, like they had a reveal the other day how each character has their own little like quest and abilities they can upgrade, and there's a pretty cool looking skill tree as well. Where have you actually heard about the skill tree? What happens is you get like AP as you do stuff, like side quest, main stuff, even just little like the person's like own little side quests. And,
Yeah.
But the idea is like the AP isn't individual for each person; it's a shared big AP pool. So you actually got to like make sure everyone's upgraded. Like you can't just go, "Hey, let's make Noctis OP." Oh look, everyone dies in one hit.
Did any of you guys get to play the Japanese demo yet or watch anything about it?
No.
I've been
I don't
skipping
have I don't have a PS4 or Xbox One, so I haven't really been touching Final Fantasy 15 at all.
Yeah,
Because I actually can't.
fair enough. I've been watching a bit of it. The gun gameplay looks really good. I think the best way to describe what I've watched with the guns and the swords mixing together, it's kind of like a slower, weightier version of Devil May Cry combat almost, which kind of intrigues me. I'm a really big beat 'em up fan, which is what pulled me towards 15 to begin with, but apparently they've had a skill tech tree for the weight mode now. So that kind of like makes the whole like active time battle thing a little bit pointless now that they've got like a full option to do a turn-based game even. So the combat's kind of a little bit more like Secret of Mana. Like you guys played Secret of Mana, I'd assume.
Yeah, it's a terrific game.
Yeah,
No,
so
I
like
played it.
you know how with that one you can run around and attack stuff, but you got to wait for like the battle meter to fill up, and it's kind of like waiting and turn based, but it's not at the same time. I think that's how wait mode's going to act out.
Hmm.
But it'll be interesting nonetheless. I think that at least Square's going to do a really, really strong job with this one comparably to the last couple of FFs. Personally, they haven't been my cup of tea or anything that I've enjoyed. I really swore off the series after 10-2, because we all remember 10-2.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, and 12 just didn't get my interest, because they're re-releasing that with the Zodiac edition, aren't they?
12, yes.
Yeah.
That's coming to PS4 as a Zodiac.
I mean, that could maybe reignite some interest there. So what I'm saying here is I just hope 15 can prop up the series and show people, especially in Western markets that have got a heavy-handed hold of the gaming industry, Japanese developers can make AAA games still. They can do big games. And because 15's such an interesting and different idea about what they've mashed together, we'll see a lot more creativity from other big devs like EA and Ubisoft and all that sort of stuff. Because personally to me, I haven't bought an EA or a Ubisoft game for like 8 years at least or something since like Dead Space. And I'm hoping that they take FF15's example of trying something new and fresh, and that it can actually sell well while being, creative instead of just stifling yourself.
On the subject of waiting and turn-based, the new Pokemon game came out, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and
Yes!
Castor, you're the expert on this. How are you finding it so far?
Thanks for throwing me under a bus. I'm actually enjoying it, to be perfectly fair. They've definitely rejigged a lot of the original systems that were in the game, in the original Pokemon games. So we're talking Red right through to X. What was the one before Sun and Moon? XY?
Yeah.
No, XY was the first one. Second ones were Alpha and Ruby, whatever it was.
Yeah, but ignoring that because that's a remake. We can ignore that because it's. Oh no, it's not because it's too much water. It's just that it's actually third generation just ported forward. But yeah, from Red right through to XY, there was. I mean, it's going to be spoilers, so spoiler warning.
Go nuts! I'm not going to play it.
It's just that from Red through to XY, there was the gym system, which was, you go to the 8 different gyms and you go and collect badges, then you go fight the Elite Four, and then you win the game. In this one, it's basically throw out the entire gym system. This time, you go around doing trials, and there's 15 of them. I'd imagine. I'd even imagine it might even be as many as 18, one for every type. So there is that. The new Pokemon, some of them are pretty decent. Like, I think at the moment everyone's loving Rockruff. I know of some people who adore Rockruff, but really, others are just a bit like, wait, what?
Yeah, I've seen some of the memes of them, like including the new Dugtrio with He-Man on it.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Oh no! I think that's at least comedic and sticks with like that anime style of humor that Pokemon has. There was this other one, I can't remember what it was, and I was reading on some forums and people were complaining they thought it was like a literal dominatrix, and they're just like, this is a kid's game. And it's like, its major move is Stomp, and they're like, why is this a thing? And I'm like, I think everyone's overthinking this a bit too much. It's kind of just a lizard that looks like mildly... I mean, I guess the pose is sort of sexual. I don't know. It's just, how people like to put garbage into something that's not there, and then they like to whine about it because they're like, oh, this is offensive to me, and I'm kind of sitting there like...
To be fair...
Yeah, that's why I'm talking about the reverse Harrodism Queen.
Yeah, but to be fair, some of the big thing was that some of the types as well for the Pokemon that we've had, they've also changed around. So, for example, Meowth, which we know in the original games, right through to XY, was a normal type. In Sun Moon, they're a dark type.
Interesting.
And they look different as well. So, there's all these all these changes and stuff that you really do need to think about, and you won't know until you actually fight them. And when I do remember when I fought the Meowth for the first time, I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be easy. Hang on a minute. Wait, it's a different color, and I've got to think about it a bit more.
So with the is it Alola, Aloha,
Alola.
Alola,
Alola.
Alola? Okay, so with the Alola forms, you can only get those in this game. You can't get the standard versions of the Pokemon.
I think you can. I think you can, but you have to get it off your Pokebank.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got it,
what I
or
was
transfer
thinking.
it from XY, whatever others.
Like,
I think that's the way to get it.
because I mean, I stopped playing the games at like Crystal. I kind of felt that they started to
Wow.
stagnate after that when I was a kid, and this one has piqued my interest a fair bit. I do like the whole island system from what I've seen they've got going there. I really love the Orange Island arc in the anime. That was a big thing for me as a
Yeah.
kid. But the fact that they've got like climate specific Pokemon's a really good idea, because originally when they were giving just more evolutions and more de-evolutions to Pokemon, it felt a bit we're going through the motions. And this one's a really, really good idea, because now you've got like possibilities of like 4 to 5 different types of Pokemon that have existed in an area, possibly unintentionally, for instance. So does this mean that in the next game we could see another, I mean, what's the evil team this time? Is Team Skull or something?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
Team Skull.
So you remember Genesect and how that was a Pokemon that was a fossil tested on and turned into a weapon?
Yes.
What if they just force Pokemon into areas like, I don't know, a Grimer and a volcano, and it instantly like starts to force itself to evolve into like a lava Grimer or something? Like, I'm just thinking of ideas here. It could be a really good story plot for
The
something
side's
like
gone too far.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and then it's just like they could force evolve some Pokemon, like ghost ones, to then, I don't know, be able to do something. I don't know, and then they could just use them to steal shit. I'm trying to think of something here that would cause them to make them like a climate. It would have to be, you know, obviously to what's going on. I'm trying to think here. I mean, you get what I'm getting the gist at. It just fired in my head, but it could be a good idea for them to do that sort of stuff.
So basically, the Pokemon become like acclimatized to a certain area as they enter an area, sort of thing. Is that what
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, obviously we've got elements and whatnot, but you know how we've got other Pokemon, like Snorlax, for instance, that's constantly asleep? What if we get a Snorlax where he can't sleep? He's always being disturbed, so he's constantly trying to get away from the noise, and he's like this really slinky, skinny Snorlax. You know? Like, and that could be a thing, and that would be really, really funny, and I think it would be a great idea. That would make me play the games again, because then it would be like, where am I going to go? What type of Pokemon I'm going to find? Do they change to this type of Pokemon if I evolve them in this particular area? So if I do like a Pokebank thing and I get like a basic, like a Seadra or a Cloyster, and I take them to like an ice area, do they become like an Arctic version that can cope with the frozen waters, for instance? Like, I think that would be good. So you guys been playing anything else lately, or?
Well, that's it really for me. Like, I've just been playing a bit of Cold Steel, but nothing else really.
No, it's one of those awkward like Christmas transition periods. We got to wait for stuff to come out soon.
Just playing Pokemon and well, Final Fantasy, trying to finish that as well.
I've pretty much
cool.
just wiped my schedule of everything getting ready for FF15.
Anyway, it's been a great episode. Even though Chris couldn't be with us, looks like we had quite a good discussion episode. So once again, thanks for tuning in, guys, and thanks for helping out with the videos once again, fam.
No,
Not a problem.
I'll catch you all later.
Cheers.